Hey guys, just getting things set up here. Let me send out all the notices and we'll get started. And just like always, if you got any tickers you want me to look at or any questions, you can throw them up in chat and we'll take a look at them. Okay, let me make sure chat's working and we'll get to that. Now, I've got a few things I want to go over that I saved just for the stream. I'm not gonna post much about them until after the fact. There we go. So we've got a watch list to go over. We got a few plays that's already taken effect to go over, and I've got some 2 or 3. I think that's going to be more like hurricane-related plays that could pop off because of what's going on there. We'll go over, and then if you got any tickers you want me to look at, anything like that, we'll go over those. So with that being said, let's get into it. Again, if you have anything you want me to look at, just throw it up in chat, or if you're part of the Wall Street Bets new Discord, if you'll tag me in it, I can see. I'll get my notification of it and I'll take a look at it there, so you can get a hold of me either which way. Okay, the first one, let's go over some that I've already posted a video for, and we'll hit those real quick, and then I'm not going to go into those too much detail because I do have a video up over them. You can go and watch it there if you want more detail on it, but I want to hit some notes on them and then we'll go on. First one is Bbig. Now you can see this already went skyrocketed, and I didn't put this on Friday's watch list mainly because it hadn't broke trend yet, and I wished I would have went ahead and just put it on there, because as soon as it opened up that morning, you can see it popped and went. I picked up a couple of shares at this dip and then a couple of more right here, and it continued on into the after hours. I do believe that you might see a small little dip in the morning on this one, but I do believe that this one is going to pop off and continue on. If we look at the options on it, let me make sure y'all with me here, yeah. If we look at the options on it, we can see that they're not ready past 11. If we push up over 11, watch this skyrocket. It is going to go. You can already see the implied volatility on it is really high. That's good. Good to go with sentiment on it. So if you want to know the sentiment on a stock, it's good to look at the options implied volatility on them. And you can see that people that was already in these at $5, $6, and $7 on options, they're already up 1,600%, 2,100%. This is going to go crazy if it continues. You can see it closed at 530 and it's already up to 770. So for every 10 shares that you have in this, you're up about $25. That's pretty cool. The other one was ATER, and both of these two I just mentioned, they do have a high float. I'll show you on this one right here. But you can see I'm looking at this trend line on this one. I look for it to pretty much bounce between the 15 and 18 EMA lines, and also this taking dips to the green 50-day every so often. But that's the trend line we're looking at. If we look at the 4-hour, it done the same thing. It done this U-shape that I like. It found support, and eventually it broke. Same thing with this one on the options chain. This one, when I looked at it Friday, it had the highest implied volatility of any other stock on the market at the Friday. That alone should tell you something. You can see that the people that's already in these options or 2,300%, 1,900. And because it's implied volatility, they do have, at least on the 17th, up to 25. But if you look for the 15th, they've not put those out yet. I'll look for, as soon as the market hits, they'll have some new ones in there for it. But that shows you how unprepared they was for this stock. It has a high short interest. If we look at, let me bring y'all over to this one. Right here, profile. Let me find the, right, this guy's with S3. They do market data. They're the ones that give a lot of Vortex's data to them and stuff like that. This is a good Twitter to follow. He is the managing director of it, and you can see that there's 5 million shares shorted. That's 23% of the float. That's awesome. That's 1/4% of the float, guys. If we come back to the ticker here, the chart, you can see, where is it at? The float on it, the free float, is only 23 million. What? This is going to go, man. This is going to go, especially if it can get up over this 200. If this one starts seeing 15 and then goes to 20, this could be another sport, but only if the volume comes in with it. Only if the eyes get on it. It's going to catch the market makers off guard. You can see by the RSI, it's turning bullish, has been bullish. The MACD is bullish. Look how long those green bars are, from all the way back here on the 12th till now. This is going to be a really good one too. Another one I'm looking at, Works. No, not Wayfair. Right here, this one, when I first seen this one, the chart reminded me a lot of support. You can see how it is trending upwards. It does keep hitting this resistance around the red and yellow resistance lines I have here, and keeps getting rejected, but we are having higher lows. It keeps bouncing and going. Friday, it went back down to the support and bounced. And we can see that it started to come back down, but it hit the 15 and 18 MA lines, found support there, and it's going to go. This one's looking good, and I believe that we're going to see another spike. But I don't think, unless we can break, if we come back here, let me show you. Unless we can break above this yellow line and confirm it, this one is not going to pop on this turn. That's the only way. I look for it maybe to do one more before it officially pops, unless it can break over this and hold it. Again, if we look at the options. Oh no, this don't have, yeah, that's the other one. Sorry about that. This one also has a high short interest. And this one does have eyes on it. If you look at some of these candles here, let's see, one on the 4 hour. This 1 4 hour period had 2 million volume on it. Now, but on these dips, they have low volume until it starts spiking. So if we can get some good boom boom candles on this one, look for this one to take off. I do believe, I don't believe that this one's going to go as high as some of the other ones, but I do believe that this one could be a decent little money maker. What else we looking at? What else am I in? SGOC. Again, what's with me in these tickers, man? Right here. This one, you can see it's kind of doing like an AMC thing. It's spiked up. It's been cooling off, and then it's found support. Unlike AMC on this one, though, we've not had as many spikes. We've had a few little spikes, but we can see that it has found support. We do have this little one right here is different from this one. You can see once it spiked up, it still continued down. If we blow this one up, you can see how it U-shaped. That U-shape's important. It shows selling pressure easing and buying pressure picking up until it eventually popped up over this 200 and became bullish. Now if we go to the 15-minute, we can see it seems to be following this trend line up. It does have bigger dips, so this is not one that's just going to keep climbing. It looks like it's mostly riding the 15 and 18 with dips all the way down to the 100-day EMA. This one, excuse me, this one has a lot of implied volatility. Look at that. Through almost 300, 300 there, 300 there, and then 319 here. But because of the Greeks and because of how much it has moved, we've not seen as much change on this one. This one also has a decent little short interest on it. The reason I keep mentioning short interest, guys, is it's important if they reach a certain point that they can pop off. This one, the point is a little bit higher. It'll be around $20. I don't know if it'll go that high on this bounce, but the point is I think this one could be a decent little moneymaker. I think this one could have what it takes if we, where am I at? Okay. If we come over to browser, bring up Benzinga. Where's mine at? There it is. SGOC. It is getting good news. There is eyes on it. They are, there's a, how can I say, a following of investors that are into this stock and are looking for a reason to buy more. And other people are watching it. It's on Watchlist. It's on alerts. If this gets to a point, it can pop and pop pretty decent. SGOC. I'm on the wrong day, then. Where is? Oh. So it looks like they beat their last earnings. At least did really good with it. So yeah, I mean, everything's solid with this one. Again, it's not going to go to the moon, I don't think, this time. It could if it gets, you know, up high enough, but I think this one's just going to be a decent little money maker. And guys, anytime y'all want me to take a look at a ticker, just pop it in there and we'll take a look at it, anything, whatever. Until then, I'm just going to go over some of these. Before I travel on down some of these, I want to mention the hurricane. For one, it's tragic what's going on there. You know, my thoughts and hopes go out to them. I hope everybody's fine. With that being said, you know, we are playing the market, and with disasters come a chance that you can make money on it. There are a few hurricane plays that I think would be pretty decent, and the reason why I want to stop that here is, or stop with the watch list right here and go to there, is because it's good to check this one out with some of the news and some of these things here. This one is PBF. They are one of the largest oil refineries. If we come over here before we start looking at that stuff, let me pull you up here. PBF. Okay, yeah, so if you look here, this last little spike, you can see a little bit better on the 4 over here. So this last little spike all happened just because the oil prices raised. Now, when Katrina hit, the oil prices went through the roof, and this one was supposed to landfall at a 4. Katrina landfall at a 3. So, as bad as a disaster as it could be, it's definitely going to disrupt a lot of oil things, and it's going to cause the price to skyrocket, I believe, at least in the short term. And I believe that that could pop this one off. Now, with that being said, if you take a look at the options here, the implied volatility is pretty decent. It's almost at 100 on them, and the change has been really good on it. So there's good money here. This one is not going to be much of a squeeze play. It is, I think, there is some decent shorts on this one. Let me see. I don't have Vortex, so I got to go with one of these free ones. So these are usually a lot lower than what. Excuse me. So yeah, it's got 14% of the float. That's another thing with this one too. The float is 91 million, so it's considered low float. It's under 100 million. It's not as low as some that we deal with, but it is low float. It does have short interest. I hear Benzinga. And where's the why is it moving? So this is why it's been moving. It gives you reasons, signals and stuff like that. Shares of several energy and oil companies are trading higher ahead of tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico, which have disrupted supply and lifted oil prices. So this is just ahead of it. With this storm barreling down and causing a lot of havoc, what's that going to do to the prices if they're already getting ahead of it this way? It is going to shoot them through the roof. This stock is going to pop. How much, guys, that's like, how much, how high is how high, Nobody can give you a for sure answer. But I believe that if we see it up over this $13 mark, that we're going to see a lot of buying pressure come in. We're going to see this green 50-day pop up over the 200, which is what they call a golden cross on the 4-hour. That is going to make this, that's going to be a big signal for not just retail, but institutional buyers buy on that signal too. I believe this can be a really good play. I ended up picking up a few shares. I didn't buy all in on this one yet. I think I picked up about 20, 30 shares, something like that. And I'm planning on picking up a few more if it pops up over this 13. So that's my plans with that one. I think this is going to be a good play. Another one, guys, that is a hurricane play is Home Depot. Now, why did I pick Home Depot other than Lowe's or the rest of them? It's because of this dip. They beat earnings and it still dipped. Now, this one, I mean, look, that right there is 6%. So, unless you have a lot of money, this one's going to be more of an options play. But I believe that this is going to bounce back even without the hurricane. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding going on. But this one I believe is going to be really good because of this dip in it already. Now, I'm not just limited to that. I think Lowe's could do really good too, but Lowe's is already up. So you're not going to get the dip buy on this one. But it is a cheaper stock. It is easier to deal with. I believe it will send this one high. Same thing with, what's the other? I can't think of the other big one now. But any construction box stores like that, it's going to see a really good boost due to this. So any plays like that could end up being really good. Now, the last one is Big Lots. Big Lots is mostly a grocery type store. They do have, let's see, community retailer in the United States. So around here, most of them are more like grocery style stores. But I do know that in other places they have them. They're kind of like a poor man's Walmart. If that, if I know Walmart's already considered cheap, or at least it used to be, but they have really good deals there. It's a really good place. I know the last time Katrina hit, this was one of the places that sold out very quick on things like water, canned goods, stuff like that. So this one's going to be, I believe, a really good deal. It's cheaper than Walmart. It's cheaper than some of those others. So I believe this one's going to be your best bet. Plus, it beat earnings and sold off too. You can already see that it was starting to pull back already on Friday. I think some of this was people anticipating, because this one had its earnings of the morning, so they anticipated it was going to be bad. When it turned out not to be so bad, they ended up buying back in. It just never did catch as much buying yet. But even without Katrina, I would look for this one to come back up at least to the 200. With Katrina, this one's definitely going to go back up over that 200. Here's the 15-minute on it. So you can see it sold off in the after hours, popped back up after earnings call, and kind of like flatlined along this green 50-day. So if this one gets back up over that 200, this one's going to look really good. And I don't think it's going to have a bit of trouble with Katrina. Those are three plays, I believe, with Ida. Those are three plays I believe that is going to end up very well with the hurricane they hit, especially PBF, guys. That's the one not to sleep on, and it's cheap enough to where you can play it pretty big. Look, it's 11.05 right now a share. This one's going to be the main one to watch right here. It's going to be the Mac Daddy. Alright, let's see. Right there, PBF. So with that being said, let's look and see if y'all have anything first. Okay, again, like I said, guys, if y'all have any questions, any tickers, anything like that you want to throw up, just let me know. We'll take a look at them. Until that happens, I'm going to keep going over a few more right here. So let me see here. We went over ATER, BBIG, SGOC. Okay, so the next one is Blade. Blade right here. On the 4 hour, you can see how it's done this U-shape. It has found its support. So you can see that it's sold off, and it's tried to make this recovery a few times, but it's found its support always right here around this red line. That is 702, if you can't see it on there. So it's looking good. The RSI is moving along with the stock. That's always good. You don't have any type of divergence. The MACD line is over the signal line, and it's over the center line with green bars. And if you can barely see it here. Let me see if I can blow it up. And you can see it starting to separate. That's a good sign. When that opens up like the greater than symbol. What I'm looking for on this one, it's already up over the 200 EMA line. If this green one pops up over it, that's another golden cross. It's on 4 hour. But this one is really going to pop if it gets up over this last resistance line right here. That's at 1187. If it gets up over that, this one could go. I think this one too has, let's see. If I come back to it here, where we at? Well, is it going to show it to me? Yeah, no shit. Hang on, let me pull it up on another one over here. What in the world, man? It's not giving me that type of information, guys. I don't know why. Let's go. Right there it goes. So let's put in Blade. here. So yeah, it's got a small short flow, but that's nothing to count on a short squeeze. So this is all going to be bullish momentum. If it gets up over that, that's when you're going to see the buying pressure step in. But don't count on this one to squeeze. It's just going to be a plain, good old-fashioned moneymaker. Is there any news out real quick about it? Let's check and make sure. That's not it, is it? Okay, so it looks like they got upgraded. So that's good. Yeah, that seems to be most of it. And see, it's getting good eyes and everything on it. It's getting good news. So that's another one. So let's move along to the next one. Let's see if we can knock out. Oh, skills. This is, guys, this is one we've been watching for a little while. And you can see this is the original trend line we had. And it kindly broke out of it, but it's not, how can I say this? It's not broken to the upside. It's more consolidating, which is a good sign. It means that it's found support. What I'd like to see it do is break this one. If it can consolidate past this one, and better if it's up over it, that would be a good sign. That would be a signal that it's broken trend at least. But we're not going to see the buying pressure come in until it breaks up over this red resistance line, which is at roughly $12.58. So at $12.58, that's when I went ahead. I bought some in on this. I'm already in on it, but I would recommend that if somebody was thinking about getting in on this one, to wait until it at least breaks this trend line, and probably better off if it broke the red one. But this is one that I'm very bullish on. This is one of my high conviction plays. I look for this one to do good. But right now it's kind of found its support and looking to see what it's going to do next. But that's on my watch list for this week too. Wish is another one. Now on Wish, like we've seen on a lot of these stocks that's popped here recently, including the ones I showed you here today, it's got this U shape, and we've even got kind of a weird head and shoulders. It does have this one dip here that's part of the head I'm talking about, but it's found its support here at this red line at the 667 mark. This one is going to turn bullish if it gets up over this green 50-day and this orange resistance line at 737. That's when I'd look for this one to be turn bullish. If it can get up over 786, I mean, look at this. It's got this little gap fill right here, this little drop off. It's not technically a gap, but the sell-off gap's what I'm talking about. It's going to quickly regain back up to about 1067. It's going to jump this quick and then continue to climb on. Wish is starting to become a pretty good little dip buy. We just need it to start making these steps. I've purchased a few shares in this one. I'm not all in on it. I pretty much put about 10% of what I want to trade on it, and then I'm just waiting for these next steps to hit. You can see the MACD, the RSI. This is what they call bullish divergence, guys. When the stock is trading sideways or down, but you have the RSI having lower or higher lows and higher highs, and it's trending upwards like this, that is bullish divergence. That's usually indicative of a reversal coming. So Wish is looking good for a reversal and a pretty decent play. The MACD is trending upwards. We're seeing it start to cross the center line and separating with green bars. So that's a good one. Let's see if anybody's threw up a stock yet. Yes, I went over Works. We just went over Skills. I already went over ATER, Root and Sport. So let's talk about them. Root is on my list. I've got a video out on Root. I'm pretty sure. If not, then it's coming out. Okay, so right here is what we was looking at on Root. We was watching this. We was watching this trend line right here. I was looking at, when we was talking about it there the other day, I was looking at this red line going across here as being resistance line, and this red trend line as being kind of forming an ascending triangle. Can you see that there? Especially, let me just pop this out of the way since it's not needed. Now, see how that's an ascending triangle? That's what we was watching for. And then Friday, it popped up and went, pow. It's up over the 200, which is very good. This one also, if we come back and look at it, oh, sorry guys, sorry, that's my freaking bad. Right there we go, look, there it is. I guess I'll have to go back over wish and skills again. Sorry about that. But yeah, look, right there. It's an ascending triangle. You can see how it kept button up against it until it finally broke out, and then pow. It's up over the 200. It looks very good. Let's take you to, here, one second. If we come here, it's 18% float on it. That is awesome. That is one of the higher ones we looked at today. It's not the highest. We've had Bbig Alter, or ATER. Both of those has had like 23 or higher, I think. So this is high, and this is looking good. Root is one that I've already bought into. I'm very bullish on, and think it looks very good. I can't remember the recent news on it. Let's see. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like it is getting trending in social media. It is being looked at as a short squeeze play. So there's news out about it, and it's got eyes on it. It's looking very good. And if you look over here at the signals, look at all the, every one of these we're going to be talking about, guys. Either have talked about or going to be talking about on these signals. ATER, Neuro, BBIG, Root, Affirm, Sport. These were the only ones that was popping off at the end of the day. And the good news is, if we come back to it, they still look good going into the after hours. That is awesome. That doesn't happen. Without any bullish follow through, these usually start to slack off before the next trading day. So as long as this one can stay up above that green 50-day, and if it drops below, it needs to quickly come back over it. If it doesn't do that, then this one is not going to be in play. Same thing with some of the others we looked at. If it drops below the 50 or 200, it needs to quickly return, or it's probably done for. So I said I'd go back over skills real quick. Let me make sure y'all with me here. Yeah. Okay, so you can see even right here with this one, we just draw a couple of quick lines real quick. So this is kind of forming a flag or an ascending triangle too, and that's a good sign for this. You can see that it is up over the 200. We do have the 50 crossing, but this is not on the 4 hour, so that's technically not a golden cross. It has found support. We can see it's trading sideways. I'm looking for it to break trend once it crosses this one, even if it's trading sideways, to break trend. But before I see a lot of bullish follow through and people buying, it's probably not going to happen until it crosses over this 1156 mark right there. That's when I would look for it to really take off, once it crosses that and goes on over the 200. So I am in on this one, but I'm looking for, we can see that's no longer trending downward. It's now consolidating. It's found its support. So now we're looking for it to turn around. Wish. Same thing. That's that head and shoulders I was talking about right there. It's found this support around this red, what is that, 667 mark. And we do have kind of a weird head and shoulders going on. This one will turn bullish. If it gets up over this 786 mark, we've got just a short little gap fill to go, and then I look for it to easily come back up to the 1086. From there, guys, it just depends on the volume. It does have eyes on it, things like that. I believe it'll do good once it hits that mark, but it's how fast it gets up there to it. It does have a high free float, so this one's going to take a lot of bullish momentum, but once it gets up there, it could do good. So we looked at root, neuro. Oh, sport. I told you I'd go over sport. Guys, I've sold out of most of my sport. I'm only carrying about 10% of what I was. If you remember, we was following this trend. We saw it bouncing, going up, and then it took off. When I made that video, it was somewhere. I can't remember if it was this spike or this spike. I don't remember. Or one of these. I think it might have been this spike. But I'd bought in back here on this spike. I'd sold, and when it come back down, I bought in again right before it closed, or maybe it was back here. I don't remember which spike it was. You'd have to go back and watch the video. But then look, it took off. So when it got all the way up to here, so here's what I did. When it hit this spike right here and dropped, I sold about 10% of my shares. So then it came back down, went up again, started to sell off. I sold about probably 10 or 20 or more percent. And then it come up on this last spike, and I kept seeing it kept coming up right up against this line button and not breaking. It just could not get past this spot and hold it. So what I did is I sold out of all but about 10%, and I held on to it. I said if it drops below the 200, I'll sell out, and it hasn't yet. But if this drops below the 200, I'm completely out. I'm gone. Other than that, if it holds, we'll ride it back up, and if it does break this line, we'll buy back in. But as of right now, until it breaks that line, I'm not buying anymore. And depending on the 10% I have left is what it's going to happen here. But that's what I ended up doing on sport. Does it look good? I mean, yeah, it found support. It's not broken this 200. It's not went below this purple support line at 22.96. It could take off again. That's the whole reason I ain't sold out yet. But at the same time, I wanted to hit these spikes because they kept bumping up against it. And it, after so many times of getting rejected, guys, it's going to take that breather. Other people are looking at those things too, and that's going to be a sell signal. I believe even if we look at super trend, yeah, see, right at this mark right here, it become a sell signal. So, I mean, take of that what you will. I know a lot of people still bullish on this, and I hope it goes up to $100. I hope it goes up to $80. I'm more than happy for those that are still in it. Still have all their shares in it. But me, I took most of my profits already. Matter of fact, most of the ones that we're talking about tonight is the ones that I bought back into. Now, another one here. And then I'll take a look at it, see if y'all got any too. BTBT. Guys, Bitcoin is going crazy right now along with other cryptos. And this is a really decent crypto play. They are a crypto mining company. The company is engaged in Bitcoin mining business through its wholly owned subsidiaries in the United States. So not only is it a mining company, it's not a Chinese mining company. I mean, look at this green volume right here. That is so awesome. If we come out to the 4 hour, we can see that it is finding support on the 200. It is finding support around, let's just take one of these. around, what was it, 1028, 1040, somewhere around there. And not only has it found support, but it's come up and it's got this spike up. If it gets above this 1347 to 1409 mark, watch this one taking off. It will go back up to this 20-ish mark here, at least. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is this one got any short interest to it? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? So it's got a little bit, but not enough to really matter much. I mean, you might see a couple of dollars spike if they ever decided to get out, but it's not going to affect it too much. Check Benzinga with it. Any news? Yeah, just that Bitcoin's going crazy, so is it. So it's got eyes on it. It's got everything it needs to take off. So this one's looking good. Let me show you one that right here. DATS. This is one that I found on Benzinga Pro. Guys, it has an awesome program. You can get that free for, I think it's 2 weeks without having a credit card. Guys, it's worth checking out, and I'll show you something with it right here in a second. But right here it is, DATS. It's one I found on Benzinga. If you notice, it's stayed above the 50 and mostly been falling the 15 and 18 all the way up. It is bullish as hell. This one is one that you want to buy into and hold. It is doing killer right now. They do chat, like if you own a business and you need people to chat within that business, they do that kind of stuff. But it is very bullish, very good one. But this is one that, you know, it's you want to hold for at least a little bit, you know, probably a couple of months. I think this one's going to do really great. Let me see if y'all got any stocks for me. Okay, let me see something. I see where you're talking about the screens. Let me check my stuff here. Huh. It's showing my connection's good, so yeah, everything looks good on my end. But yeah, I'll try to start calling out the numbers and stuff a little bit better. So I've got 2 more I want to go over. And then if you got any stocks you want me to look at, that's great. If not, guys, I'll post this list on Twitter and Discord for y'all to check out. If you want to, I'll have it up tonight. And I'll try to have a couple more videos out tonight on a couple of these stocks too. I've got some out already on ATER, BBIG, Wish, Skills. I think that may be all the ones that we talked about tonight, but I'll have a few more out. So the other ones are Neuro. Here we go. So this, let's go to the 4 hours first. So you can see that this one kind of did that sell-off like we was talking later. It's found its support around the 200 and it's spiked. It closed at 16 and it's already up to almost 19. It's 18.27 right now. We come to the 15 minute. Look at that, guys. It's not fell under the 50-day once. It's bouncing right on up. This one is another one that's going to be good to watch. I believe that this is going to be taken off in the morning, and I believe it's going to do good. Let's see about short interest in news really quick. So yeah, the short interest ain't that high. It might be good enough for like $1 spike or $2 spike or something, but it's not that high. So this is all bullish momentum just coming through on it. Let's see what the news is on it. See, there's something behind this. The senior vice president sells 50,000 shares, and it still spikes like that. That, because I mean, he sold at 5:30 a.m., but you can clearly see by the charts that even after that it keeps going. So, any other? Shares of low float stocks, Neurometrics, are trading higher on abnormally high volume. What's it say here? Amid an increase of retail investor interest. So yeah, this is just strictly bullish follow through from the retail community. That's so awesome. That's awesome. Okay, here's the last one for tonight, and I'll post the thing. And then if you before I leave, if you got any stocks you want me to look at, we'll take a look at them. But this is SDC. You can see it has that sell-off and then the U-shape that I like very well. It's found its support at 10 or 465, 66. We can see that there is some bullish follow-through. The MACD line is starting to cross over the signal line again, and we do have green bars, and they are all up over the center line on the MACD. The RSI is showing it's not completely overbought yet, but it is riding that 60 to 70 mark. But you can see that this is riding the 15 and 18 EMA lines right on up. This will be one to watch. They had a, what was that news again? There's some news that they had made a deal with somebody. Let me see. They made a deal with somebody. SDC. Huh. It's on a short squeeze. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It was a short squeeze play. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the highest short interest we've seen all night. 32% of the float. Wow. That is so awesome. What? Hold on, we gotta. Let's see here. Option. Where's implied volatility? Yes, implied volatility's high. Look, 600% change on that one. Wow. If this one gets up over $10, $11, this one is gone to the moon. It's going to make sport look bad. If this one gets up over 11.50. Wow. The only question is can it do it? The last volume was over 7.5 million. That's not bad at all. Wow. So yeah, that's definitely one to put on the watch list and watch out for, guys. That's going to be a good one. EXPR. Yeah, that's just one I'm watching. I'll throw it up there. EXPR. It's one to put on your watch list and check it out. So let me see if you got anything you want me to look at, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, if that's it, we'll call the stream that and be done with it. Let's see, let me make sure. I don't want to leave nobody out just in case. Alright, yep, that looks like everything. So guys, I appreciate it. If you'll hit that like button and subscribe button, it really helped me out. And if you want to keep up with me, you can hit that bell icon. It'll keep you updated anytime we post anything, along with Twitter. I post everything to Twitter. It's at WTrades, DUBYA, and DK Northern. If there was anything you didn't catch in there, any of the price points, just message me either on the Discord or on Twitter, and I'll get them price points to you. Alright? You guys have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.